Talking about money is taboo in a lot of spaces, and track and field is no different. Last week I was in Kingston for the first edition of Grand Slam Track, which, if you don't know, is Michael Johnson's brainchild event to elevate the sport of track and field. It allows the athletes to race against their rivals head to head, get paid handsomely while they're doing it. And of course, for the fans, it gives you a chance to see your faves up close and personal.
Off they go for the men's 400-meter hurdles. The man in
this event. Fact, I paid less money for my Grand Slam track tickets than I did for the track and field event tickets that I bought for the Paris Olympic Games last year. And I had Sydney McLaughlin, Kung Fu Kenny, Salma El Nasser, Marielle Di Paulinho, Alison Dos Santos run and run fast. I got to see icons of the sport and current athletes like mere feet away from me. Like a Michael Johnson passed right in front of me, Justin Gatlin passed right in front of me. I spotted Yaron Nagus and got completely geeked out because he was walking on the track. And then of course, I got a picture with Sanya Richards-Ross. Like, what is not to love about this event, right? But the athletes have been really vocal about the amount of money they made. Some of them said it was the most amount of money that they ever got paid for just a weekend's worth of work or racing. And I think being so vocal about that has made a lot of people uncomfortable. But there was a competitor there at Grand Slam Track, Baird, I think is the last name. He works at Walmart. And track and field, like all sports, is a dichotomy, right? If you're a generational talent like Sharika Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Usain Bolt, Sha'Carri Richardson, Christian Coleman, like, you don't have to worry about money, right? Like, your endorsement deals, your appearance fees, and your prize money have you set for life if you manage your money well. Like, even Sydney McLaughlin, they interviewed her after the event and they asked her, where her $100,000 is going, and she was like, adulting, guys, adulting, and being responsible. But for other athletes, they were just like, we've been working on something that I wanted to buy for a long time, and this helps me add some more savings and some fuel towards that. But it's made people really uncomfortable to hear athletes talk about how good it feels to be taken care of, to get first class flights, and to get paid handsomely, right? But I mean, who doesn't want to take the chance of earning $100,000 versus working extra shifts at Walmart when you're trying to train to be an international star, like athlete? Like, let's be real here. But it has upset people, including one of the founders of the Wanda Diamond League and a former race director. He had a lot of things to say about Grand Slam Track and Michael Johnson, and none of it was good. I mean, he basically called it grand flop, which I have a problem with. And he basically said that Michael Johnson has been money hungry since he won the Atlanta Games running 1932, and his appearance fees like skyrocketed, etc. This man has a problem with athletes demanding money and getting paid. But there are legitimate concerns or critiques that we can make about Grand Slam Track. How much the athletes got paid, that is for Michael Johnson and his investors. I do not know if the model is sustainable. Yes, the stands in Kingston weren't full, but Jamaica, like every other island in the Caribbean, I think breaking in and doing the first event of its kind is always risky business, right? So Jamaica, yes, Jamaicans love track and field, but this event came the week after Champs, and Champs will sell out the stadium in Jamaica, and there was an expo going on at the same time. And of course, the price point for the tickets were a little bit more than the Jamaican market was expecting. At least I heard it was about $500 more than they typically pay to go to Champs. But the beaches were free and people still didn't come. So let's not just say it was solely about the money. I think that Jamaicans like to see themselves and their stars more than anything else. Champs is a cultural experience. It's social status. It's bragging rights. It's high school rivalries renewed. It's a lot of things. It's not just I love track and field. So I don't think it's fair to say that Grand Slam Track didn't capture the hearts and minds of Jamaicans who love track and field. Like, there are Jamaicans who were outside who flew in to Kingston to watch track and field because that's how much they love it, right? But of course, if you're the average man, as the bartender in the airport told me, I don't know Michael Johnson and this event from nowhere. How I go give you my hard-earned money? What if it busts? Like, this is a bartender talking to me about why he didn't go to the event, despite the fact that, the beaches are free. Timing is another thing. The sun in Jamaica real different earlier. And when I say different, I mean it different. And I'm from the Caribbean. 12 o'clock sun in Jamaica. Why do you want to be outside? I also think Jamaicans are nocturnal people. I was in TGI Fridays after 8 o'clock on Sunday and families were streaming in with children. And I'm like, these people don't want to go to work Monday morning. Like, why all here? But of course, having an event of this nature involves having broadcast partners. And if you were to start the event at 6 or 7 p.m. Jamaican time, that probably doesn't work well with an international broadcast schedule. It likely doesn't. But I do think that the event would have benefited from a later start time on all the days. That, I think, is a legitimate critique. Another critique that I heard was that it didn't give people the chance to get to know the athletes as they would through the rounds at a Diamond League or the Olympics. But I don't think that track and field was designed, at least this event was designed with newbie fans in mind. It wasn't designed to bring people in. If you are going to a Grand Slam track event, it's because you already love track and field and you know who you are coming to see. I knew who I was going to see, literally. So I don't think and also an event like this, it can't be all things to everyone, right? It's the first of its kind. So there were only short sprints, and the longest race was 5,000 meters. And I will say, sitting in a stadium watching a 5,000 meter race when there are no race tactics on display, these athletes all know they're racing 4 against the clock. They've won one race already. They know exactly where they need to finish in order to secure a certain amount of points to win. Can be like watching paint dry. Having a rabbit and a kicker and team competition with the Ethiopians against the Kenyans adds a little bit of excitement to the distance races that Grand Slam track could not provide. But honestly, I wasn't expecting them to do that. I was expecting to see people run fast, and of course, entertain the crowd, which they did. And if you're like me and you already love the sport, I have some new athletes to stand over, like Sasha Zoya. He came, he showed up, he performed, he ran to the crowd, he jumped, he danced. The cameras loved it, the crowd in Kingston ate it up. What is there to not love? And one of my last points, as someone living in the Caribbean, I can't find the level of organization that Grand Slam track displayed. I knew what the schedule was for the races before I even landed in Kingston. There was no issues buying the ticket online, no issues with scanning the ticket. It wasn't a case of the ticket scanned twice, I couldn't get in. None of that can happen at some events in the Caribbean happened, or at least in Trinidad and Carnival. None of that happened to me. They even had a Google pin drop so that you could provide that to rideshare drivers so they knew how to get you closest to the stadium and where to come pick you back up. Like, that's organization and performance for your money as far as I am concerned. The only thing that didn't work was they had park and ride locations, and one of the locations they turned my friend and I away and said we couldn't park here to get the shuttle to go to the event. But aside from that, no complaints whatsoever. I'll be keeping my eye on Grand Slam track, and if you're a fan, you love the sports, Miami is coming up, LA is coming up, Philadelphia is coming out, please take the time, get to a stadium near to you if you want to see your faves run and run fast. I am not sure if the model is sustainable. There are people who love the field events, and of course Grand Slam track does not cater for them as yet, but who knows what the future will bring. The reality is that getting to Europe or Asia is really expensive, and the track and field as a sport has been dominated, or at least the center of it has always been Europe, and now that they're bringing in events in Africa and Asia. But if you're like me from the Caribbean, that is a really expensive project to undertake. Paris last year was a bag of money, if I'm being honest. And Kingston was a lot more affordable just to get there for a weekend and see the same people that I saw in Paris race for a fraction of the price. Yes, I don't get to see them get a trophy, and I don't get to hear the national anthems get played, but I just want to see my faves run. And if I had braved the midday sun at 12 o'clock, I would have been able to get pictures with some of the athletes who came out to the event. I didn't want to be like a groupie and be in the sun at 12 o'clock. Sorry, I'm just a girl. Didn't want to do that. But I'll be keeping my eye on Grand Slam track, and so should you. And you know what? I can't fight what Michael Johnson has done. Being the first to do anything opens you up to a lot of criticism, but I am here for it. shots have been fired in the track and field world. Let's see how everybody else responds.